Good morning and welcome to our TGIF edition of Wake Up Nigeria.
So
It's
what?
It's the penultimate. Yeah, it's the penultimate episode in this month of June. It's the 6th month of the year. The year is just about halfway gone.
Can you
We've been
imagine
through
that?
half, and
It's so fast though. It's like
is it?
It has actually gone quite fast.
Is
6
it?
months already. It feels like we're just saying Happy New Year when
No, it's been a while.
it does. No, well, hey, it just shows that you cannot waste time when trying to find your flow, find your vibe. And hopefully we are part of your everyday routine by now, bringing you loads of vibes and loads of smiles. It's our responsibility to bring you a Friday full of great energy and fun.
Danny, you were supposed to bring some cards this morning. I don't know if you passed one way and they took the cards.
Oh, really, Mike?
I don't understand how Mike just wakes up in the morning and decides to just share responsibility.
No, I didn't share.
Indiscriminately.
Mazino said you were bringing cards. And you had cards.
Mind yourself. No,
Wow.
the last time I brought cards to this office, I never took them back home. So.
Wow.
Oh, you never took them back home, so they're around.
Yeah.
Hey, well, how are you doing, Danny? How are you doing this morning?
I'm great.
You look
How are
like you're
you
about to head to the beach or something.
Oh, right. I think so. Maybe after. It's Friday anyway, so why not?
Okay.
Yes, rain on the beachy days also go. Rather beach on the rainy days also go.
I just want to give a shout out. Guys, remember the last time we were together at the beach? It was raining. And it was still fun.
Yeah, it was.
You
a lot of
remember
fun.
that? You remember that experience?
We should do that again sometime soon.
Yeah, rain and beach, yeah, they go together. Now, come on, yeah, you know, if you're watching us on DTT, it has to be GOTV channel 16. It's a terrestrial band, you want to check us out. It's ultra high frequency 49.
Yes, so we know that it's going to be an amazing show today. My name is Titilayo Oyinsong.
I'm Mike Messikeno. You can hit us up on social media at TVC Connect, of course, Facebook,
Yes, sir.
Instagram, Twitter, there's TikTok.
And TikTok, yeah, exactly.
Okay, probably LinkedIn also.
But yes, there is actually.
Okay, good.
But you know, we also have an app. It's available for you to download for both Android and iOS. And it allows you to watch us from anywhere that you might be, no matter what's going on, right there in the palm of your hand. Yeah.
So the ladies are just simmering over and getting set
For what?
for a battle this
I don't know what
morning.
Mike is planning.
I'm
Like, he
telling
literally
you.
just sets people up and...
You know what? Yeah, I always say this thing that whether you like it or not, you will be compared. Yes.
Or contrasted, maybe.
Compare. People will compare you. I mean, it will be either your station against some other station, it will be either your dresses against someone else's dress sense. Even if they're not vocal about it, but that is what life is all about.
Better your brain against another person's brain.
I mean, people will always have
Some
that
people
thing.
are of the
And-
school of thought that you are your own competition. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, you see, there are two ways now. Do you want me to give you television answer or personal mic answer? Tell me, and I'll give you the one.
Personal mic answer is the one
You
that
want
was
personal mic
trained.
answer?
Yeah.
God, it's too strong.
It's too strong.
What?
Only failure say so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Only
Really?
what?
What's
Only
that
what?
supposed
Only
to
what?
mean?
What do you say?
Only failure
If
say
you
so.
are already, if you are already at the
Let me
top of your game,
let me
if
tell
you're
you.
already at the
Let me
top
tell
of
you.
your game,
Go and meet
you should be
any-
comparing yourself.
Let me tell you something. Go and meet any top CEO,
Really?
any sportsman, anybody that is in any sphere of life and is at the top or is up there. I remember some years back, I went into this brand manager's office of a particular brand. And this was a very lovable family. Like, all they exuded was love and care and togetherness and inclusiveness.
Okay.
I got into the office, he's facing the door. And then something happened and he told us to wait, and then I had to see what he was seeing. His eye, what he was looking at,
What?
his competition. It was just there in front of him.
Like a poster or a banner?
The
or-
competition, it was a brand, what they were doing, it was just there in front of him.
Okay.
It is okay to say and all of that and to try to better yourself, that's okay. But more, the world is unforgiving. That is not, I mean, you are not, well.
I hear what you're saying.
No.
I actually do hear what you're saying. No, on the issue of competition, it has also become the downfall of some people because they've gone really down a dark path, trying to kick out or knock out competition, whereas they were already good enough to thrive in.
So now this is what I would say. I would say if you have a vision, right? Your vision is for you.
Okay.
If you want to say draw inspiration from others, I can understand that. But say you will leave your own vision, you will not focus on your competition, you are going down. There's nothing.
So
That's
it's-
honestly
it's
the way I
not-
see it.
Okay, yeah.
That's honestly the way I see
So
it.
they are not. So
For instance, let's say
for-
there's a very
I
popular
was
brand
watching-
we use, like phone brand we use. Literally, when they had the vision, no one else was doing anything like that. Even a lot of
Which
brands
brand?
we see this.
Call it.
I can't
No,
call it.
why that?
because
Nah,
because I was
really?
watching a movie. I think it's that brand. I watched that movie yesterday. For 2 days now, I'm watching that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, RIM, Blackberry. Is that what you're talking about? I was watching that movie, and boy, you
vision
need to
they
watch
had.
it.
So that's the thing. So the vision
need to watch
starts,
it.
but then again, when other competitions come, there's no point. As I said, draw inspiration, see what they're doing, okay,
Yeah.
and then be in tune with the times, as opposed to just like abandoning your own and like facing others.
Because
Really.
if you face others for too long, you're going to forget
Yeah,
yourself.
forget yourself, exactly.
At this point, hopefully, you don't forget yourself when you're going out today. Let's tell you what the weather's going to be like.
Mike Mexicano. The Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has pledged to end incessant attacks and killings in some communities, including Mango, where 18 persons were killed during Tuesday night's attack. The governor said he had met with President Bola Tinubu on the security situation in Plateau State and got the president's assurances that drastic measures will be taken to end the attacks. State correspondent from Plateau, Funam Joshua, has more.
Recent records have it that more than 267 people, including women and children, were gruesomely murdered by militiamen between the months of May to date. About 50 villages across Mangu, Barkiladi, and Riam local government areas of Plateau State have come under incessant attacks. The efforts of the security operatives in tackling the invasion have been questioned by some leaders of the affected communities and individuals. The state governor met a few weeks ago with the Warren Fulani and Magavul stakeholders to discuss measures to avert further attacks in the areas. Worried by the persistent invasions, Mr. Mufwan also visited President Bola Tinubu to seek federal government intervention on the killings in the state, as he revealed in a gathering in Jos.
About 16 to 20 villages have almost been cleaned up. And the attacks have continued unabated. We have taken some steps, we have put some measures in place, but I'd like to promise Plateau people that by the grace of God, this situation will be arrested.
Some stakeholders in the state we spoke with shared their thoughts on the situation and the way forward.
We pray and believe that the president will look into our plight of having state police, because once we have state police, we will be able to police our own environment, our own community. We'll be able to know who is truly ours and who is the enemy.
Where these things are happening are in the rural areas. So the current service chiefs and heads of security agencies must come up with a strategy that will be operational in the rural areas.
And my appeal to Mr. President and the new service chiefs to please put their searchlight on the plateau, because plateau is still boiling.
To put an end to these recurring attacks in some of the Plateau communities, the security operatives must come up with new security approach on the situation, as well as all hands must be on deck if we must achieve this. Funam Joshua, TVC News.
President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria is ready for business, urging foreign investors to take advantage of the opportunities and ongoing reforms in the country. The president told investors on Thursday in Paris, France, that ongoing reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidy and the unification of exchange rate, will be sustained for a more competitive economy. According to a statement by the president's special advisor on special duties, communication and strategy, Dele Alake, President Tinubu assured the delegation of Afrexim Bank that the government will continue to stimulate the economy with policies that support investments. The president of Afrexim Bank commended the president for the steps in removing the fuel subsidy and unification of the exchange rate and assured him of the full support of the financial and development institution. And then on to foreign news. All 5 passengers on board the missing Titan submersible have been confirmed dead by the U.S. Coast Guard. Rear Admiral Omagor confirmed that parts of the Titan were found approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic wreck. He told reporters that the debris discovered was consistent with a catastrophic implosion. The Rear Admiral says he cannot confirm whether the bodies can be recovered, saying it is an incredibly unforgiving environment. Offering the Coast Guard's deepest condolences to the families, the Rear Admiral adds, "I can only imagine what this has been like for them." Earlier, the vessel operator Ocean Gate said, "Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time."
Subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences.
Friday morning, and of course we have something for you this morning that you can definitely make over the weekend. And with me here I have Chef Flora. Hi Chef Flora, how you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, tell me. I can see some interesting ingredients. I can guess what we're making, but some other ingredients are confusing me a little bit. So tell me, what are we making today?
Okay, we are going to do fried rice.
Fried rice?
Yes, actually Nigeria fried rice.
Nigeria? Are you sure? Nigeria? All these things. I'm sure it's Nigeria fried rice. So cute.
Yes, because there's some things that are actually missing it.
Okay.
We want to go deep into the origin of fried rice.
Yeah.
From Chinese.
Okay.
It's a Chinese dish actually. But right now,
But trust Nigerians, we can
put in soy sauce in it.
Okay.
And there's no egg and there's no shrimp.
All right.
So that's what makes it a Nigeria.
Okay. All right. So now run us
rice.
through quickly the ingredients we have
here. All
here.
the ingredients ready. I have my carrot diced. I have cucumber diced, kidney beans, green peel, runner beans, my beef, the long grain rice.
Okay.
And I have spring onions, sweet corn, onions, Scotch bonnet pepper, seasoning cubes, bay leaves, curry, thyme, and...
Oh, what's this green one?
Oh, it's fried rice spice.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
And then I have my green, all that my vegetables.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right.
And
So
my
now,
oil.
okay. So now, can you quickly run me through the process of preparing fried rice? I know. I mean, people prepare it theirs differently. But then
yes.
what method are we using this morning?
This morning I'm using this method. That's why, because I've already parboiled my
Okay,
rice.
ready for boil the rice, all
yes. There are several ways. A lot of people.
Is this a one pot dish? Is this one pot?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So now tell me, what process are we using?
Okay. So I've already boiled my rice. Some other people will just fry the rice directly.
Yeah.
Without parboiling it. So, but I prefer to parboil for this studio purpose, so that it will hasten up the cooking time.
Okay.
So I already parboiled my rice. So the next thing I'm going to do to fry out my veggies and then put them aside, fry my meat, and then the oil, the rice goes in, and the rest.
Okay, so we're literally frying the rice.
Yes.
Okay, are we using margarine or anything like that?
No, I'm using vegetable oil.
You're using the vegetable oil to fry the rice. All right, it's amazing. So now, can we start? What do we have to do first?
Get through
is the oil here? Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, while we actually allow Chef Flora to start with this process of frying the vegetables before she gets the rice, we definitely have a paper review on the couch with Mike and Titi. Yes, we need to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning.
By the way, just for that, Danny, did you cut off some cloth from your top?
Well, we have quite a lot to talk about when it comes to the headlines in the dailies this morning. Let's see what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. We're going to be starting with this newspaper at this point, and it says here, federal government to end polio in December. It says virus has declined in Nigeria by 84%. Bill Gates reiterates $7 billion aid. Concrete decisions needed, according to Dangote, and according to governors, will support all initiatives for healthy population.
See, this issue of polio eradication is, whenever I think about it, for a very long time, for about last 6, 7 to 8 years, it's been it's very sad. I would say it's very, very sad in the sense that, look, do you know, Titi, there are only 3 countries in the world that polio is endemic, that have polio.
Only 3 now?
Only 3. And that's been so for years. And if you hear the other 2 countries, you will not be happy that we are in that same bracket.
Yeah.
Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Wow.
And Nigeria are the only 3 countries in the world that have polio endemic. And it is, I'm talking about 84% by this time. At a particular point, some years back, we were declared polio free.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? How did it come back? First of all, that declaration, was it after
sure? Was it affirmed?
Yes. Was it after due checks and balances? That's number 1. But then it has come back, and we're talking about 84% by this thing. We really should have gone past this. I don't want to say hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, the vaccines and all of that being done, we should really clean up house.
Yeah.
And clean up house. I don't want to hear that. I mean, for a very long time.
I've been hearing it. I remember hearing it in childhood.
Very
Kick
long
polio
time.
out of Africa. I remember even.
So that was
back then.
that as a child that was around 96. That was a Nelson Mandela initiative. That started from South Africa with Nelson Mandela. He really said, okay, across the African continent, and Africa as a continent was one of the first continents that they said they declared it free. You know, there was a fight. That campaign you're talking about.
Sure.
96 period and all of that. Nelson Mandela pushed that campaign, kick polio out and all of that. But you see, we really do have to do more. It's shameful that we should be talking about this now.
The next paper we have here is The Punch. It says here, DMO worries over low revenue as Nigeria's debt nears 81 trillion. Federal government's 10 trillion naira revenue can't support fresh borrowing. It says here, government to issue promissory note as judgment debt nears 3 trillion.
Yeah, and a lot of people have pointed to this particular thing when the issues of serving officials raising the salary by 114%, which, of course, Dele Alake has come out to say that it is not being approved. But as much as I said it's not being approved and all that, we point that as an economy, we cannot, there are a lot of things that we cannot, at this particular point, sustain. That is one of them.
Yeah.
Our debt, we really, I mean, taking off subsidy really does help.
It does.
A big way.
Yeah.
It takes off a lot. The government will not have to think of borrowing for all of that.
Yeah.
But you see, the president now is somebody who, at different points in time, is known to be an economic juggernaut. We've seen the market has been quite bearish since he came in. You know that.
Sure.
You understand? He's in France now. We read about him winning investors and all of that. And so there is that outlook that economically we can do better than how we were, recently. So let's look forward to that. Look at the economic blueprints that is being put together, and hopefully we get through this phase and move on and start moving up.
So, yes, you just mentioned that the president is presently in Paris for the Paris summit. And you said wooing investors. The subsidy removal FX policy needed for survival. That's what he says.
And that brings us to the issue of the floating naira, or as in having the market, a unified rate. There's nowhere you hear this kind of thing apart from here, where we had 2 different rates. We had the black market rate, and then we had the official rate and all of that. So that was the first. This is something that should have been done a very long time ago.
Yeah.
As a first step, you have a unified rate. Yes, it's really fluctuating quite a lot, because it so happens that whenever something is at its inception stage, you would expect seeding problems. You understand? We are at that particular stage where we're just starting. So those seeding problems will be there. But after this particular period, once we have a unified rate, then we can work towards strengthening the naira and all of that, as it were. I mean, it's very simple. Import, export. I mean, when you give value, it goes up. So it's just simple, very, very simple. We focus more on giving value. We focus more on taking stuff out rather than bringing stuff in. And come on, the value of our currency would definitely go up.
We have the Guardian newspaper with us as well. And it says here, flood of fury, no respite for Bayelsa, Kogi, Rivers, 30 others ahead of another cloud burst. Now, it is the big story on pages 4 and 5. Some troubling-looking photos
very, very
there.
troubling. Remember last year we spoke about it?
Yes.
This year, of course, meteorological reports gave it that this year rainfall was going to be much more than it was last year. Don't have the exact this thing in my head now, but we know that it's been a problem. Like, what from last year up until this point in time, I know that it was a new dispensation, but what have people done? What are the few things people have done, especially as much as we do have a role to play, that's talking about the public do have a role to play. But in cases of this kind of, especially when, erosion and all of that, in cases of this large thing, it's more, responsibility lies more on government. If you are going to put up a policy and then you tell people to move out from an area, then you're going to have to enforce that policy because, look, they will not want to do it. I mean, I've seen communities where people are basically living inside the water.
Yeah.
You understand? So
but then again, there are
policies
also...
will have to make people either move out from those regions because you know it's going to happen.
Yes,
especially
but there are some places where, some countries where they live on water, like they've built.
We don't have the infrastructure.
Yes, that's
we're talking about bamboo that the water is taking off. I mean, it will rot now. I've seen. I mean, when you go to those countries and all of that, with their beautifully made rafts and all of that, Vienna and all of that, Venice, pardon me, and all of that. When you're going through and all of that, you see that there's an infrastructure. It is well planned. Yeah. There is concrete. There is.
But it also took hundreds of years to build infrastructure.
And the only way, and see, my point is this: we don't have some kind of infrastructure for now. Get people to move away from the areas that are flood prone.
True.
It is policy that's going to make that happen. For now, if the administration doesn't do anything, I mean, to control the flood, then get people out from there, so that we don't hear stories of people losing lives and all of that. And then people also pay your head like that incident we mentioned about in Agege. How can you see water going in there and you are still going? You are David Abi?
Wow.
It was sad, but that is entirely avoidable. You see the water, you see it's raging, and you know that you're on a three-wheeler. And you are going inside. Come on.
We're going to move on to the next newspaper at this point. We have the blueprint here. It says, with oil subsidy removal, we're ready for business. Investors, which is similar to some of the stories we've already read earlier today, say we need reforms for national survival. Concerns over primary healthcare financing will be addressed, according to Shetima. And also it says here, Tinubu sets up committee to wade into 4.2 trillion, 2.1 trillion NMPCL FAC row. It also says here, Mogalu backs Tinubu's FX policies, says stronger Naira will discourage exports. And anxiety in Senate as Wike lobbies Akpabio over minority positions.
Okay. The major headline, of course, there is the same thing we've been talking about in different ones, oil subsidy removal and how much it's needed to stimulate economic growth and all of that. So look where it has happened. We're looking forward to, as soon as possible, the measures, or we see the results of this particular sacrifice that everybody has to make. So that one, we've spoken about it at different times over and over again. Yeah. That one.
I was actually going to mention, how important it is for conversations to be had in different countries all over the world on how new business can be brought into the country. You mentioned the strengthening of the Naira. A lot of people still complaining, oh, it looks like the dollar keeps going up. Some were even fearing it was going to go over 800 Naira as at sometime earlier this week. But a lot of people don't realize that the only thing that can truly strengthen the Naira is the actual economy. How much are we exporting? How much are we manufacturing?
Simple. You just said the word. Export versus import. Export more, give value more. Your currency will rise. It's as SIMPLE as that. Simple. I just want to mention, just in passing, unmetered consumers increase as discos customers hit 11.27 million Q1. We've seen a little bit of a spike when it comes to electricity generation. Sure. And we know there's been talk about states having to generate their own electricity, which I think would help the matter. But then unmetered consumers is a major problem.
And that has been a big issue for a long time.
Unmetered consumers, I mean, people that are consuming electricity and they are not paying for it. If we had time, we'll talk about it, but some other time, of course, we'll talk about power generation and electricity.
At this point, we would love to hear your thoughts, hear your comments. Use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. Let's hear what you think. We can't wait to see them. We're going to be taking a quick break, but there's still so much more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back into the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. I'm still here with Chef Flora. In case you're just joining us, we're making Nigerian fried rice. And Chef Flora has started. Please, can you tell us what exactly is in that pan now?
Okay, So we have all the veggies fried out. With,
Okay. So we had our beef first, right? Fried that out first, and then we added the spring onions, the peppers, and all of that. Looking really nice. Did we season it as well?
Yes.
So you were telling me that this is also a way to a way of meal management. Okay.
When you have a leftover rice,
okay,
you can actually convert it to your fried rice.
To fried rice.
And that is exactly the origin of fried rice.
That's where it started from. Wow. So it was like
because the Chinese people have a lot of rice. That's what they have it.
Yeah, they eat a lot of rice. So when they have it left over, they just mix it. And that is actually very true because recently I watched a movie where the chef literally spoke about using leftover rice.
Yes.
Being a better option to making fried rice. I actually am yet to try that. I'll definitely try that. So let's see. You want to start frying that?
I'm going to warm the oil.
The oil first, okay? So feel free to use any oil of your choice, olive oil. Can we use butter? Because I know some people use butter. That's why I asked earlier. Yes, you can use butter as well. Cooking butter. All right. Then what goes in next?
So I'm going to put the onion.
The onion goes in next.
To warm the oil.
Ooh, nice. Because I mean, it's a weekend after all. I know weekend a lot of people consume rice. So feel free to transform your white rice into fried rice to give it a better taste. Now, this is the part I'm really interested in. I've never actually fried rice directly, like fried it. So is that what you want to do now?
Yes.
Okay, let's see how that's done.
I'm going to allow
The onion to fry properly. Okay. It actually all smells so nice already. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. It's not ready yet. Yes, it's ready. Okay, and then we put the rice in.
The rice is already parboiled.
The rice is already parboiled. The rice is already parboiled. But in some cases, you can actually do it directly,
Yes,
right?
you
It
can
will just
do it
take a longer time to fry. I think sometimes you have to add water or meat or something. Okay, you have it there. But just a little.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's going to dry out. I'm just keep frying and frying and frying the rice. I usually like it because I mean it makes the rice stand single, and it gives it a very different texture. Yeah, it doesn't stick together. I'll definitely try this method out. It looks nice already, and it's very easy. Like we literally started how many minutes ago, and we're almost ready because our vegetables are already prepped on the side. The rice is literally cooked. We just leave this for a few more minutes, and then we're good to go, right? Amazing. So at what point, now cucumber, I'm really skeptical about putting cucumber in cooked meals because they tend to, I don't know. So what's the trick? Yes, what's the trick? Last. Okay.
I'm going to give it some kind of taste.
Just give it, oh really? Okay. I usually just avoid it totally when I'm cooking this thing. I don't know. I'm just like, cucumber does not belong in the pot. It belongs in your belly straight. Yeah. So, I mean, we cover it for a few minutes. Yes. Okay. All right. So now tell me about Luffy Tastia, because I was asking about it earlier. Tell me about Luffy Tastia. What do we do there?
Okay, it's a food and beverages company, and we process all our food from natural food ingredients, free from toxin, free from chemicals and additives, but rich in spices and herbs, and we source all our ingredients from the local
farmers and markets.
Give back to our
okay. Do you offer catering services as well?
Yes, we do catering services.
Catering services as well.
I mean, package some products.
All right, packet products as well. Yes. All right, amazing. So I mean, it's a weekend. If you have a party and you want to definitely get a chef on all of that, Chef Flora is here for you. And right about now, we have Mike on some transfer news, right? Sports, Mike.
Yeah, mostly. I wanted to mention earlier.
Yeah.
Danny, it seems like you transferred some material from your shirts to your shoes or something.
Yes, I did.
I don't know. I wish I could raise those shoes up.
But we're in the kitchen. Is that allowed?
All right.
Activate your glutes. You guys working on your glutes?
No, that's not the muscle I want to activate now. I want to activate my vocal muscles. You know why? I want to sing. Guess the song I'm going to sing.
Okay.
Near, far, wherever you are. Okay, you know the song. That's the soundtrack for Titanic. Come on, that thing has just been ringing in my head.
You didn't enter like that.
Since yesterday, as soon as
Titanic just started trending yesterday. That song just kept coming back. And it feels like the conspiracy theory around the Titanic has just gone into overdrive. Well, yes, we heard it in the news bulletin earlier on that, you know, sadly, the U.S. Coast Guard confirmed the Titan submersible imploded near the wreckage of the Titanic. Now, the first reaction for many people was, waiting then they go look for that. Waiting people they go find for Titanic. They don't do film. They don't do documentary. They've written article upon article. What are you still looking for?
Yeah, you know, a friend,
They got money.
an acquaintance here put up something. Someone I know, he put up something and he said, do you know that when those guys go down, they're not even going to see it directly. They're going to be watching it through a screen.
Yeah.
So you're not
They can't get there.
No, what I mean is that it's not like you're going to even see it through the submersible.
Yeah.
You're not even going to see it. Like, you know what I mean?
They're going to send like a
sensor, and then there's going to be a screen. That means that even if you sat down here and had a VR experience, it most probably, I'm not saying it is, I stand to be corrected, it most probably would be more immersive than going there. But then, you know, I was talking to somebody and I said something, look, I mean, I've not been to some places. I mean, some of you have been to LCC, you went for the overhead something. When you have more money, you seek for more thrills. But a few things about all of this,
sure.
that people want to mention. This is not the first time that that submersible has made that journey.
Yes.
But it was interesting that it would cost you at least $250,000 dollars today at the minimum.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the makeup of that particular submersible, I was shocked. That thing is being controlled by a game controller pad.
Yeah, it's like just a remote.
So you're just like using your left.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a bit.
Literally just.
Of course, it was the materials, titanium and all that we used to make it, but there were warnings. In fact, a staff of Ocean Gate was fired because he in quote whistle.
Yeah.
He blew a whistle on it. And then one other person who was supposed to be on that journey also said that when he saw, because that video is now trending.
He saw the waiver, yeah.
So it's like it's not, there's as much space as a minivan, your SUV, a big SUV, like your, in quotes, let's say for example, a Sienna. There's as
Not
much
more
space
than that,
that you have inside. You can't really stand, you can't stretch, and then there's 5 people.
Yeah.
You understand? And so there were a lot of, my point is that before that, there were a lot of safety concerns, a lot of it.
I want to read this. They said, so they signed a waiver knowingly, and the waiver mentions death 3 times on the first page of the waiver. No be one page be the waiver.
We don't say the waiver, but it's normal. If you're going for a thrill, if you're going for big ones, bungee jumping, if you want to go for
of course.
most of those ones, you have to sign.
Yeah.
But if anything should happen to you, nobody can sue us or something. So it's a normal thing to sign. Now, but you see, why a lot of people are concerned is that, okay, why is this having for the past few days, you've heard about the Greek, the migrants, over 750 of them on a boat, and we know that that's been an issue for a very long time. But the thing is that is illegal. I want to clear it out to people here.
That's
why people might not look at it the same way.
Yeah.
With all due respect to everybody that lost a family, this is not trying to say one life is more important than the other. But you see, that is illegal. You know, they paid amounts of money. That is something that has been a headache for European authorities. They've done all they could to try to stop people migrating illegally to Europe. And so, in that way, you cannot compare. So people are talking about how, oh, this has made so much coverage. Why is this other one not making coverage? I mean, every other day, people are doing and they've warned you. The perils of that journey. They are just so... my heart goes out to the migrants who lost because they were looking for a better life. But it is illegal. That is the most important thing that you have to understand.
And that's the reason why it's not trending as much as, you know, what so this is like paying for an experience. It's paying for a luxury experience, because the term billionaire was used quite a few times in many of the articles. That the people in the submersible,
I mean, you had people that could afford the CEO,
it. Yeah.
You had 2 billionaires, they were all there, the son, and then there was a story about the son who went for that trip just to please his father.
Wow.
He did it because, you know, you've heard that thing when you want to make your parents proud.
Wow.
He did not want to, but, you know, his father is a thrill seeker, an adventurer. I want to do it and all that. Wow. So he wanted to make his dad proud. You know, and so the stories are all around there and all of that. And you see, there's something we don't know. Let me say, we don't know. Man has explored much more of space than the depths of the ocean.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
As much as, of course, like, as much as, yes, we could say that. But the truth is, in this situation, as you said before, it wasn't the first time they were making that trip. So to be honest, I'm sure they were like, okay, fine, these things are normal, so it's not a big deal, we'll just go, and before we know, we're back and all of that. But then again, I feel definitely taking a trip like it's under the sea. Yeah. There are different things that could happen. Do you understand? There are creatures over there. They're all.
Nobody even talked about sharks. Nobody talked about
sharks. Is small. Sharks cannot survive there.
Sharks
can't survive. You don't get it. Let me tell you.
The depths of the ocean.
Let me tell you. You've seen how a plane goes through turbulence with clouds. What is clouds? Clouds, water, really.
Yeah.
It's water.
Yeah.
Down there,
the pressure.
It is so dark that you've heard that thing about how light would always break through darkness. That kind of darkness, light cannot break. Like,
even if it does, just for a very short
it is so much that it envelopes light.
And what happened to the sub literally also makes it also clearer. It literally imploded. So it's not a matter of, it couldn't even explode.
It couldn't
explode. If it wanted to explode.
How?
The pressure.
The other way around.
The pressure is an understatement. Pressure is what you see up. When you enter, that one that's pushing you that you're seeing, like the keke atagege and all of that. That was pressure. Yeah, that's pressure.
Yeah.
Under there, when you say pressure, it's like you are downplaying it. What is there? People are telling that stuff that is there is about 4,000 times more. I mean, Mami water can be there. Any lot of things.
There is an article saying that the wife of the missing Tor submarine pilot, Stockton Rush, was actually was the great-granddaughter of two of the first-class passengers of the actual Titanic.
Wow, and she didn't go.
Omo. These conspiracy theories are probably still going to be floating around for a bit, and we'll be watching the story. We would love to hear your opinions. Use our Wake Up Nigeria on TVC hashtag with their comments.
Yes.
All right, take the time out now. Okay, I'm expecting that Emma will be part of the show this morning, but she is a producer today on the show in the control room talking to us. Hey, ma'am, how you doing?
She's screeching into our ears.
Screeching? Ma'am, you know that's screeching. But hey, come on, we're looking forward to a wonderful 45 minutes. Thank you for being a part of this show so far. For me, for the 45 minutes, what I'm looking forward to is Battle Royale.
Wow. Mike, why do I feel like you have this fantasy?
I don't know why. I don't know what's up, but we'll get to that.
We're family, Mike. We don't fight.
It's not fight.
What battle? Really? What is this, a sporting event?
Okay, now you said it here. Think about it. Maybe next week game day, we're going to play Mortal Kombat or something.
No.
But hey, come on. You're up for that, Danny?
Wow. Danny, I was trying to defend us.
All right, how about the kitchen? What's happening there? How's our fried rice?
Yeah, flour is done. Our fried rice is literally ready. Okay, and it smells totally amazing. We just have our cucumber left to go in and we're ready.
Okay. Sorry, can we end the show now? Once the food is done, what's the point of the show?
No, really?
Let's end the show, Titi.
They're watching the show because of you, because of me, because of Winfrey.
And the food.
We are not as important as the food.
Wow, are you sure about that?
The food is more important. But hey, come on, that's what you get here. That fun and all of that will give you today. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. It's a pleasure being right here. Thank you for letting us into your homes once again and staying with us day in, day out. We have another 45 minutes prepped for you. And it's going to be real fun. You can catch us online on Facebook at TVC Connect. You can also connect with us on GOTV Channel 27 and UHF Channel 49.
All right, let's get straight into what we have left for the show this morning.
Mike, you switched to organize battle when you're not inside.
I can be sad.
You will
so
be
the person
sad.
I'll be on it's a family battle.
Yeah,
so I'll battle. I'll use bitter. I'll battle you. I'll be to battle her.
We want to battle you. Both of us want to battle you.
Okay. Which movie will both of you take? Which movie will both of you take? I mean, it's John Wick 4 versus Extraction 2.
Next the British Serpents.
Wow. You know the funny thing? I was actually going to say Domitila. That was what I was going to say. I don't know.
You see? On the same break.
Was old school Nollywood better than this now? Because I think maybe it's nostalgia for a lot of us. Because when I think about Nneka, I saw a clip of Nneka at the Spirit 7, the first one. And you know, Nneka she still looks so beautiful. She has that fair.
And not much makeup though.
Omotola posted a video yesterday of series of her movies with herself, Genevieve, Rita Dominic, and it literally took me back. And I'm like, to be honest, right now I actually rather watch those movies.
Those ones,
than this. I'm just saying.
I still remember I was looking at the clip of the old living in bondage.
I
was looking at the clip and then, you know, I'm telling you, and something
the sound effects that they used to use then, the soundtracks that used to basically tell the whole story.
Second to none.
And you know something, there's a running joke about nice sacrifice. You know, nice sacrifice, that's kind of and all about how once you see him in a movie, he's either killing somebody.
He's always that joke money rituals.
Yeah, there's that joke, a meme that look, money not too hard to get now. You just too love your family.
Wow, interesting.
So yeah, it's all jokes here. Now that, you know, talking about the weather, one thing I wish I could do, and if I do, okay, no, I'm on the island. No, sorry, if I bring to the island.
When are you on the island?
A beachfront house is perfect, where I just feel like this weekend just to sit on the beach and do nothing. That's talking about the weather, yeah.
Let's do it.
You know,
Mike,
just sit down.
I don't see Mike is more chaotic than that. You guys, I don't believe him.
Really?
No, he's never going to sit in one place and do nothing. Mike, y'all.
He does have this restlessness going on.
Let's take a look at what the day's weather and of course the rest of the week will look like.
Live at the celebration of Morayo Afolabi Brown's 10 years on Talk TV and her book launch. Woo! I am so excited to be here, of course. And if you're wondering, why am I so dressed? It is because the theme is Owambe Party. Also, we're going to be giving you a scoop as well into the event. So, guys, let's get going. Let's go.
Throughout the time Morayo was writing the book we're here to launch, I didn't participate, I didn't contribute much, because I thought I knew all the stories, everything she was going to write about since I met her. But when the final copies came out, the finished product, it looked fascinating to me. And because of that, I read it back to back. And to my shock, I realized Morayo exposed herself. She stripped herself virtually naked in that book. And I raised an alarm that, look, Morayo, you can't do this to yourself. These books must be burnt, and you must rewrite some parts. And Morayo said to me that, look, Femi, all my life, the truth has always set me free.
When I became the commissioner, she came to me and said, I want to work with you. She actually worked in my office for like 3.5 years without any pay. She was also involved whenever we were brainstorming about solutions, brainstorming about what next action to take, brainstorming about what was most suitable for the state. In fact, everything we did, she was heavily involved.
The story surrounding my birth is quite an interesting one.
My mother belonged to the cream de la cream of society. She was popular and influential, especially in the 80s and 90s. She was a role model to young business people and was known as a fashion icon and influencer.
It does seem like the kind of book you would purchase for especially your daughters in your communities, other young ladies who want to go into media, so that they can also have someone to look up to, because I don't feel there are enough women in media that have put themselves out there like this to this extent and have become this successful. There are not enough of them. There is loads of room for many more amazing media women to grow, and this is a first step. Once again, please, a round of applause. Please, I think we should give her a standing ovation, actually. I think we should ask everyone to stand up and give her a round of applause. Mariah Afolabi Brown, everyone.
The reason why this book was important, as my husband said in the opening remark, I practically stripped myself. You hear about my upbringing. Many do not know the kind of struggles I went through as a young child. You hear about my sojourn when I traveled to the US. You hear about my car accident when God saved my life. For those of you who are going to be writing books after this, please know your real stories is what Nigerian young people need. Your real experiences is what we need to hear, so we can learn from it and they can truly know the depth of the experience God has given us through. Thank you very much for your support. God bless you all.
I want to wish her well. She's doing her program. Everybody has said it, that she's very cultural, respectful, a good wife, a good mother. So, I mean, I just hope that others can follow her footsteps and understand that success doesn't mean lack of humility.
Mariah has done very well. As I said when I was praying, it is the outcome of the pursuit of a vision, the fulfillment of a dream, and part of fulfilling God's purpose for your life. And I thank God and I like it that Mariah is working in her purpose.
I was surprised to hear that it's 10 years that your view have started. And she has been consistent. And I would say that program has brought hope to different homes. That program has brought healing to so many souls within the country and outside the country.
Well, it's good to put your thoughts in book form because these days, say, people need to tell their own stories. Don't wait for other people to tell your stories. And I like what she's done. And I sincerely appreciate that she's done that at this point in time. 10 years in the industry, at a time when it was difficult, right? And she's carved a niche for herself and she's stuck with it. I can only congratulate her.
Your View is a lovely talk show anchored by women of different political views, but with very strong values. I really love watching the show, and you know that you can always get a broad spectrum of views about any topic, and then you can draw your own conclusions from, just from watching the show.
Yeah, that was a really interesting event.
Yeah.
Congratulations once again to Mariah Afolabi Brown on the book launch. I'm inspired.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. Mike, when
really,
are we writing our book?
inspiring, to be honest. Just as you said, we don't have a lot of people in this media space, especially as women, putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely one that anyone, even if you don't have to be on TV.
Yeah.
Like,
So Titi said something.
the experiences in the books. In the books.
She said something now, which made me think that when I'm writing our book, imagine where 5-6 people decide to write a book
together
from different angles. Think about how the gospel is. When you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they told the same story from different angles. So think about it. So imagine we're talking. No, I'm serious. Imagine we're talking about broadcasting or whatever it was, and you had a group of people. You know, it doesn't have to be very long. But think about something like that. I've never seen something like that. And now I've said it now. You know, ideas just go out there. Somebody can just try it.
We can try it. All those
rather than having an author, just have authors and just
Yeah.
Let's
gospel.
all write about Wake Up Nigeria.
It's
The
not a
Wake Up
bad
Nigeria
thing.
Chronicles.
You know, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And just
Wise Mike's, isn't it?
simple or something.
I battle Wise Mike's, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Chef Flora, thank you so much. I mean, she made for us Nigerian fried rice made with leftover rice. Tell us a little bit more about the meal, about what we have inside.
We have kidney beans. We have all the veggies represented. We have sweet corn. We have beef. All the spices.
Mike is from J.
Wow.
Look at me.
Winfrey planned for you, Mike. Winfrey planned for you.
Hey, stop this show. Cut.
Planned for you.
Director, cut. Director, cut now.
Oh yeah, end the show. Wrap the show, Mike.
Oh yeah, Mike.
Cut. I'm going to bed. Cut.
Take
now.
I'm giving you. You say I know. He's giving you.
That's it for today's show.
Thank you for being a part of this show. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, Chef. We will see you on Monday. But remember, tomorrow, 11 a.m., the beautiful game. We'll talk about the transfers and, of course, Brazil and Senegal. See you tomorrow.